I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, here up in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling the tank, rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Whoop! What up, though? Welcome to Whatever It's Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Eazy by Spinmo Rax, young Chris, Nicholas Koloff. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. Lots of Detroit Lions today. We are officially going to get into the Detroit Lions versus the Cleveland Browns, a matchup that initially going into the season felt like a little bit of a snoozer. Felt like Detroit Lions versus Titans. It can end up that way. I'm not saying it can't, but that Brown defense is the real deal. And I got to, tip my hat off to. Although, for whatever reason, when he was here, the defense was absolute fucking garbage. But Jim Schwartz, one hell of a defensive coordinator. I don't know why. While he was head coach of Detroit Lions, that was the only thing that absolutely fucking sucked. That and the offensive line. I think it came around a little bit towards the end of his tenure. But while he was here in Detroit, that defense was cheeks. That never connects with me for whatever reason. But he is a good when he's solely responsible for control the defense. He's good at that. The Browns coming to town. So we're going to have on our guy, John Kosko of PFF, to break that one down. You had him on before. He breaks down the defensive lines and cornerback rankings for PFF. I was going to ask him a few questions about the Detroit Lions situations there, too. But the news right now, the talk of the town, unfortunately, Spinny, is your Detroit Tigers. Neil officially jinxed them.
Yeah, he did.
He did it with the Lions versus the Commanders, and now he's 2 for 2. Well, maybe 2 for 2.
You got 2 games left. Jack Flaherty on the mound tonight versus Cleveland Guardians in Cleveland. Hopefully he doesn't give up 4 home runs. Maybe just 2. But, yeah, it sucks, man. You had, a 16-and-a-half game lead, and now you're tied for the division for the first time in months. Just a terrible, terrible collapse by all parties. But it's all right. Scott Harris cooked at the deadline, I was told, and we had enough to push us into the playoffs.
Yeah, you guys, that was I'm pretty sure it was an episode where, there was that, Hall of Fame game. Mm-hmm. That was the same day as the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Detroit Lions stuff to talk about, hypothetically, but we couldn't stop crashing out over the Detroit Tigers trade deadline. Matter of fact, you were going manic.
Yeah.
Charlie Morton came in at 5:59 prior to the 6 o'clock deadline, and that's what it was like the over the edge. It was 41-year-old with the 6 ERA was bringing us. That's who we're bringing in. He had a couple good starts earlier. It was all right, AJ Hinch knows him. Did they find something? Nope, they didn't. But that's when I think that is the one that pushed. As if Spencer wasn't already upset, that one was all right, Charlie Morton, 41-year-old, 6+ ERA. That's not great. But I will say tonight,
the Atlanta Braves, Charlie Morton?
Yeah, right. Atlanta or Houston for that matter, but definitely not the Orioles, Charlie Morton. But I will say tonight, you got a World Series champion pitcher pitching for you. Last night broke me. I want to get optimistic. I want to get excited for this team. Last night stole my heart, my spirit, everything that I had riding for this Detroit Tiger team to have hope. Last night took it away because right when Riley Green hits the home run, your vibes are high. You got the 2-run lead for Skubal. You're Iron Man. You're Superman. He literally got the kryptonite thrown at him, and it was one bunt. It was a bunt error when he literally was looking like Frank Ragnow out there trying to put a ball through his legs. And then it was a swinging bunt, and then a failed bunt and a pass ball. It was crazy. The Cleveland Guardians, the kryptonite of Tarek Skubal, Superman in Detroit. You saw it in Game 5 last year in the ALDS, and then you saw it last night in a must-win game. I don't know what it is, but this team just fell apart, and it tends to happen against Cleveland.
Every time. Last year in the playoffs, this year to begin the season, we got them second time around, but it is weird. Some part of me admires it just because of the rivalry. It keeps that part of it alive. I love a good reason to hate another team in the regular season. can I say this, though, real quick? We would still be the last wild card spot, though, right?
We are currently, because the Astros are on a nosedive as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we'd be in Cleveland.
5 games left.
As of right now.
And, yeah,
So
we would go to Cleveland.
And if we snap, I mean, we all know baseball. I don't call it game. You call it game of runs?
It's
literally a game of runs.
Whether they make the wild card spot or win the division, this team is not winning a playoff series. They're not. They're not good enough. They don't have the pitching, and they don't have the hitting either. You've got 4 guys, I guess, who are really worth the shit at the plate, worth anything. You've got really 2 guys that you can rely on at the plate consistently, and yet nobody on the mound. You've got Skubal, except for against the Guardians, that you can rely on against the mound. Everybody else, Finnegan gave up another run, and that's his 2nd straight appearance giving up a run. They put in Canely. Who would have thought that wouldn't have worked out? This team is just completely broken, and they will not win a playoff game or a playoff series. Maybe they'll get a game, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Nicholas, where you at with that talk?
I mean, as bad as this team has played, we've seen them literally go on runs where they look incredible, and I saw them literally go into New York and kick their ass. It's like, I don't know what this team has against Cleveland, and it's not even just Cleveland. It's this whole entire second half of the season, the last 60 games being way under 500 for that mark, and just the slow, death of this team. They've run away from every single thing that Scott Harris has preached as the day he got the job here. You have to control the strike zone. You have to get on base, take walks, smart base running. This team has done none of that. They don't walk. They strike out all the time, and they don't strike out in the zone. They chase balls out of the zone. So literally everything that Scott Harris has preached, they're not doing whatsoever. And then when you finally do get the big lead and pitching, they want to hammer the same things home, you walk the 9-hitter Austin Hedges. It's like every single thing that we have preached and that we stood by to go on the unbelievable run of last season and the hottest start ever this season that we were talking about 84 World Series. We were talking about 06 and the numbers that backed up this being a potential to be that kind of team. It's because they were doing all of the little things right, not walking a bunch of hitters when we're pitching. Obviously not going out of the zone on all these crazy strikeouts that every single hitter on the Tigers is doing. They were doing all those things right. They're doing all of it wrong right now, and every single player is doing it wrong.
And it's not just the players. Like AJ Hinch isn't making the right calls on who to bring in, who to pinch hit, who to put on the mound. Scott Harris did not make the right decisions at the deadline. You have an entire fiasco going on in the front office. This is not just the players not playing. The entire organization is falling apart. It's like you've got the Athletic broke a scandal in your front office. Scott Harris didn't get a single good player at the deadline except for Finnegan, but even he's given up 2 runs in his past 2 outings. None of the players are working. Every time AJ Hinch makes a call, it backfires. Nothing good is happening to this organization right now, and it's showing with this complete and total collapse. It sucks.
And the most poetic thing about it is where you have to go into Boston to end this season, and I'm sorry to be the one to say it, Alex Bregman's going to hit a fucking walk-off home run in Boston. Mic drop on your playoff hopes. I can just see it happening right now. And you know what? I'm so thrilled that we have, one of the best farm systems. But it's to not trade a Max Anderson or a Lorenzo when you have a Briseño at that position. You have a million second base prospects in this position. We needed upgrades at the deadline, and we just did not do it. Reese Olson got hurt. You brought in Paddock. It's we could have got out and got the guy out of Arizona, the starting pitcher. The name's escaping me, Kelly, if I'm not mistaken. He looked good. The rest of his ERA was a sub 3.5. That would do numbers right now on this Detroit Tigers team. You didn't go out and make serious upgrades. You got Kyle Finnegan, which is great. He obviously doesn't look the same since his injury, and that sucks. Obviously, it happens in baseball. Arms are going to get hurt, but the upgrades that this team could have made, they just did not choose to do so at positions where they specifically had depth within the organization, and that's what upsets me. And I thought they had a big enough lead where they were still going to make the playoffs, but obviously the epic collapse of this whole entire clubhouse, even their best player, Tarek Skubal, you saw last night, everybody's collapsing. And it's not acceptable. This is like a historic meltdown by the Detroit Tigers. Literally worst of all time if they lose it.
But this team is a pleasure to watch, and fans should be thankful they get to watch them have success.
Did Scott say that?
That's what Scott Harris told us, yep. They should be grateful that we get to watch this team have the success that they've had.
That's nuts. I
Go cover up another sexual assault in your front office, dude. I don't want to hear from him anymore. Like, saying something like that is just fuck you. Like, you can't say that to the fans.
That is a fuck you.
Like, you went out there and you nickeled and dimed at the trade deadline, and you got nobody worth anything except for Finnegan. And
nickel and dimed free agency too.
Nickel and dimed to free agency, and Glaber was a good signing. But
Yeah.
shout out to our boy Alex Cobb sitting there, $15 million to retire.
But even
have,
Glaber-
have fun in Boca Raton, buddy. It's
Even Glaber playing out of his mind. Like I guarantee they're not going to sign him.
no, they're not going to re-sign Glaber. They're
It's
not
gonna be
going to
worth some
re-sign
money.
Skubal. His team. I mean, I have no faith that. I don't know if it's Scott Harris, so I don't want to completely rag on him. Obviously, it's Chris Ilitch and his lack of
Give a fuck.
give a fuck. His inability to give this team even the bare minimums for money to sign somebody and forcing people in the nickel and dime. But it's also on Scott Harris. Like Chris Ilitch doesn't command what you do with the trade deadline, and he traded for a bunch of nobodies and he got nothing in return.
But maybe he could tell you don't trade for any big contracts. You know? I mean, the players do hold a part of this too, because like my coping mechanism with it throughout the back half of the season until football got here was like, well, the Guardians are losing so many guys. They're losing the horses to get there. But they're still fucking winning right now.
But they still have
so
the
you got to
two-
look at our players too. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
And they sold at the deadline.
exactly.
They got rid of
They
it.
sold and lost guys to suspensions.
I like when you look at this, which it is in the process of being one of the most historic collapses in the history of Major League Baseball. It's not one guy you can point at. So as much as you want to rag on Chris Ilitch or Scott Harris or whoever,
fair.
it's literally every single person in that organization. It's every single person on every single level in that organization plays a part to this team. Even Jason Benetti. No, I'm just kidding. Like, all jokes aside, it is every single person in that organization. You cannot put a singular spotlight on somebody when you have this big of a collapse. It's everybody's fault. And it does start at the top and trickle down. But fuck, man, somebody just grab your nuts and say you're not going to lose.
For real. That's where I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's happened yet, but you've seen AJ be like so chill, so calm. And I talked about it when I reposted that video, Spenny, that you asked me, when they were going through one of the losing streaks, you know, after the Seattle series and coming back from the All-Star break and still struggling. It's when is AJ going to put his foot down and just blow up the clubhouse? It's like every single person in that clubhouse respects you, AJ. Like, you're not going to lose respect for, I don't even know, putting your on the table and say, let's fucking go, boys. It's time to wake up. Like, this team's young. They need that, I believe. At least, like, you need some energy from
Somebody.
your manager. I truly believe that. And also, it's like, this organization had faith, and I listened to AJ talk, and he's like, who do you want us to take at-bats away from? Zach McKinstry? Yeah, I do, AJ. Zach McKinstry's going up there. He's striking out 3 straight pitches every goddamn time.
Yeah.
All-star Zach McKinstry. Can't take him out of the lineup. Guess who I'm watching hit right now? Trey Sweeney, batting 9th. Couldn't make an upgrade there?
Instead of bringing up Trey Sweeney or Jace Young, who we both know are fucking ass, why don't you bring up the kid that's got a 1,200 OPS at basically every level of baseball he's ever played? I don't give a shit if, we don't want to ruin him. You're about to lose your playoff spot. He is the best hitter in your organization, period. Give him a shot. We know Trey Sweeney sucks at baseball. We know Jace Young sucks at baseball. This kid's got a 1,200 OPS everywhere he goes. Why not give him a shot? You can't tell me a reason why Jace Young deserves the at-bats more than Kevin McGonigal. You can't.
And then you say to him to come up just in time for when Skubal dips.
Yeah, him and Max Clark for that matter. And I don't want to fucking beat a dead horse here, but, you know, Bregman and fucking Wyatt Langford will look great on this team. I mean, obviously, Max Clark, future star, you can always say it, and I hate to go back to that. I'm just saying, like, those are 2 guys that you're not even talking about some playoffs here. You're talking about a World Series if you have those two players on your team. And it's just frustrating moves that Scott Harris has continued to make throughout his tenure as the president of baseball operations. He's done a lot of good things, but you have to think about the serious ability to get big league talent, and he's struggled to do so. And my last mark on this is the one-hitter. You saw him do great in New York, and what happened? This team followed suit with it. Parker Meadows needs to get on base and wreak havoc. We need Parker to wake up. You got to get on base because this team follows you. When you do well, Parker,
we need the team to wake up.
I'm just saying runs get generated if that dude gets on base. Usually good things happen.
Did we read Dumbo Jumbo's super chat?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Dumbo Jumbo, shout out to you with the $5 super chat. He says 19 Ks yesterday. Buckle up, fellas. We're cooked for the next 5
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many times Parker Meadows gets on base. If you strike out 19 times.
That's terrible.
It's Bush League shit. It really is. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about something. But first, tell us about Ven Johnson. Because I'm ready to fight the Tigers organization as a whole.
Not Bush League here. Ven Johnson. Corporations, the government, even your insurance company will do whatever it takes to minimize their liability and withhold your compensation. So when something goes wrong, make Ven Johnson your first call and get a fighter in your corner. Contact Ven today at venfights.com.
Get ready for the ultimate sports experience. Join former University of Michigan star and NFL sensation Braylon Edwards alongside the charismatic Shep.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown Michigan!
As they break down the latest in sports like never before. Tune into the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards!
Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. only on the Woodward Sports Network. Don't miss out on hot topics, insider insights, and the banter that keeps you coming back for more.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Art and Jakes, ladies and gentlemen, we will be down at the Northville location October 5th. The heavies, everyone there for the watch party. Detroit Lions, enough of the talk. All right, we're doing it. We're going to be at Art and Jake's October 5th in Northville. Pull up. We got 80 TVs wall to wall. We got 22 draft beers and 90 menu options. Come through Art and Jake's Northville October 5th. And this weekend, if you can't make it to Northville, I understand it's kind of far from my house too, Madison Heights. It's a central location. Pull up to the skate jam. They're doing cash for tricks. You don't have to do the sweetest trick. Just land a trick, and you can get some money. Take that money and then walk into the grand opening of the Madison Heights location and get 50% off store-wide.
Everything.
You don't want to spend money? They're giving 1,000 stash bags away. Pull up for the skate jam. We'll be there this Saturday starting at 7 p.m. We will. They're there from 9 to 10, but we're going there at 7. What up, though? Welcome back. The World Heavyweights Live on Sports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Spinball Raxter, Chris, Nicholas Koloff. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. Chris, you got that video? I just want you guys' reaction to this one. I know everyone's seen it all day, but I haven't gotten Nick's reaction. I haven't gotten your reaction. Let's see this thing.
But 19 Ks, that's not going to get it done usually.
19 Ks for what?
For you guys. Tonight? Yeah.
Listen, Riley's an awkward guy. Like he's not the most like he's kind of awkward in conversation, so that definitely looks weirder than it should. But I would be surprised too. 19 strikeouts is fucking unacceptable, dude. You have what, 26 outs in a game, 27 outs in a game, and 19 of them you struck out. You're not gonna win a lot of fucking games.
Well, that's the part, and again, I'm like the novice here, but I fully understand 2 years ago, or at least last year, to begin the season, it was the offense that was fucking piss poor. Actually, for the last 2 years, the offense has been piss poor. So we started the season as hot as it was. I kept asking, is this Pixie Dust? Is this Pixie Dust? You got Zach McKinstry, Javi for a very short time. But, like, it's just Parker Meadows we saw be there, then disappear again, too. Like, that was going to be my favorite guy heading into the season. Like, the offense has been, like, absent the entire way through. So when they were hot, I think that's the one piece for sure to get the deadline. The injuries, you can't foresee that stuff. I get that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can foresee the injuries
With
when it's a
guys who might
history
get hurt.
of injuries. When you look at Casey Mize and you look at Reese Olson and you look at a guy you signed in the offseason in Alex Cobb and they haven't stayed healthy for 5 years in a row. Like, it's like the Marcus Davenport thing. Like, yeah, you can sign him. He's probably going to get injured. They all got injured. Surprise, surprise. So then when at the deadline you trade for nobodies, okay, you're mailing it in. We've had one starter all year, just like last year. Shout out Kyler Montero. Like, hey,
I mean, at that point, start Kyler Montero over Charlie Morton and fucking Chris Paddock.
Yes.
He was doing it at the end of last year. Like, I'm so dead serious. You brought in two guys with ERAs above 5. Charlie Morton with a 6.5.
Captain Fix-A-Hole. We can save her. Yeah. We can make it happen. No, you can't. You can't. Like, the Hinch Pixie Dust doesn't work on dudes who are dead or 80 years old. Like, come on. And when you have one guy that it's like, okay, maybe if Fetter can get him right, he can be an X factor. But when it is 1, 2, 3, 4 of your starting rotation guys that you need Chris Fetter and AJ Hinch to create something out of, that you need Chris Fetter and AJ Hinch to make reclamation projects, that you need to be a legitimate organization, you're asking way too much. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't care if it's King Midas. His fingertips will rub off eventually, and then the gold stops.
The staff full of Marcus Davenports.
I remember, Spencer, you said that when it came to this team, or when it came to the Pistons, you said, I'd bet on a straight bet over a parlay. And it sounds like they built their team on a parlay. I feel even foolish. Remember when we were live at BlackRock and I asked which team is, or no, sorry, that was during the White Claw Summer Tour, when I asked who's going to win a championship first, the Tigers or the Lions. Boy, did that age like milk. I genuinely don't understand how this team, I get that baseball is inconsistent. You have your ebbs and flows, but to go from historically great last year, historic run, you completely did the reverse opposite this season and did a historic collapse.
It's kind of easy to tell why they went from historically great. You caught lightning in a bottle last year, and they banked on keeping that lightning in a bottle for 162 games this season. They didn't make enough moves to genuinely improve their roster. They were just like, let's run it back with the same vibes and Gleyber Torres. That's all it is. Everything on Gleyber Torres to make a team that was ass for the first half of the season and then went on this magical run. Oh, yeah, they'll just do it again, but for a whole season? It's okay.
And I got to say, the biggest, Chris, I think one of the biggest things, too, is like when this team is going up against a lefty and like other teams know, like when they bring in a lefty that we're going to pinch hit because none of our guys hit lefties well. And when you have Andy Ibanez and Jahmai Jones that you're relying on to come off the bench and be fucking Aaron Judge, it's just not going to happen. And we have put so much faith in these reclamation projects, even just on the hitting side, where they want to play the matchups. And it's not working right now at all. And then, okay, we got guys on base. Don't you worry. You got a guy on third. Less than 2 outs. Everyone knows. Get the ball to the outfield. Score the run. Get a fucking bunt down. Score this run. The amount of times that we strike out with a guy on third and not score the run, or hit a ground ball directly to third base and get thrown out at home, it is mind-blowing. And this whole entire run of losing 10 out of the last 11 games, their inability to score with runners on base and less than 2 outs is the biggest reason why that they are completely in the tank. They can't hit with runners in scoring position, and that is exactly why they lost in the playoffs last year.
It's because they don't have complete hitters. You don't. You have maybe 3 guys I would consider complete hitters. And you know, I've said it at the deadline. You're going to give up a Zach McKinstry to bring in a guy? Yeah, I am. You're going to give up this guy to bring in a – yeah, I am, because we need legitimate everyday baseball players. And unfortunately, this team doesn't have a lot of those guys. Torque, love you, Bubby. You've been great this year. This isn't on you. Riley Green, I know you catch a lot of slack. I'm fine with the year you had. You hit 36 bombs. You're doing fine. You strike out a lot. Who cares? That's part of it. You're going to hit 30 bombs. You can strike out a lot. But you can't have guys that strike out a lot and don't hit home runs. You can't have guys that strike out a lot and don't get on base. You got to have a little give and take. You can't just be take. You're all ass. It's okay. I like Dingler. I like Torkelson. I like Riley Green, and Gleyber Torres is a pro. Other than that, you got nobody. Like Wencel Perez, here or there, for sure. Wencel Perez as a utility. Am I buying Wencel? Remember, I said we could trade Wencel Perez. No, you can't get rid of him. He's the star of the future. No, he's not. He's gonna be a good piece that you put in every other day. You don't have anybody outside of 3 players that are gonna be future. I feel like I can't do it again. I feel like I can't do it again. I don't know. Am I crazy? I don't know.
Can't trade McKinstry.
Can't trade McKinstry. Got Charlie Morton's going to save us. Don't worry. It's
Atlanta Braves, Charlie Morton now. Shout out.
He signed with Atlanta to retire?
Huh?
Did he sign with Atlanta?
Yeah. You
to
didn't
retire?
See that?
No.
He's with the Atlanta Braves now.
Shout out to retire.
It was an inside job.
Yeah.
I just... The bottom fell out, and it fell out a while ago. And this team is not showing any signs of clawing out of the depths. And even if by some miracle they beat Cleveland in both of these games, or they stay in the playoff race even in the wild card, they're not making it out of the first round. They're not. I don't even care if you get the Yankees, who we owned. The way you're playing right now is not the same way you were playing when you were in New York a couple weeks ago.
God, I mean, I would sound like a crazy man if I argued against it right now. I would still say you have Skubal for 2 games in a series, so I feel good about that, but I'm not going to pick them to go out there and win a series right now. By the way they're playing, I'd be a fucking psychopath, or I'd be a psychotic. Yeah, I wouldn't think at all. So basically, real quick, Chris, the way this organization handled the trade deadline this offseason is literally, you're seeing it right now. They completely botched this offseason and the trade deadline. That's why they are where they are. That's it. They failed this team. And the players, I mean, for God's sake, wake the hell up. It's like they're playing without any pride whatsoever. They look like lost little puppies out there.
Yeah. And like I said, it's not one person you could point at. It's not Parker Meadows not getting on base. It's not Alex Cobb being hipless. It is the entire organization from top to bottom not doing what they're supposed to be doing. It is from the owner to the bat boy not doing their job, and that's how you fall apart like you did. And there's pieces I like. There are players I like. I like the Gleyber Torres signing. But you didn't do enough. And when you are in the MLB and teams are constantly improving and have guys that are established, I don't know. They're dead. They're dead.
All right. Let's wrap up the Tigers talk. Let's get in something maybe positive with our guy John Kosko with PFF. Let's go to break real quick.
Oh, is he a Guardians fan? He's probably a Guardians fan too, isn't he?
Let's find out. We'll find out. But first, let me tell you guys about the massage chair house. If you need to recover, if you need some relaxation after watching Tigers blow a 14-game lead in the
19
AL.
strikeouts.
Tonight?
No. Yesterday.
No, I know. That's what.
I mean, maybe go for 20. Hey, why not?
I was referencing the video. Scan the QR code or visit MassageChairHouse.com. Go see my guy, Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc. He is the host of the largest massage chair showroom. That's why he has a large massage chair review channel on the interwebs. Or go see him in person at the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road, Massage Chair House.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. They got deals for everybody. I was just in there last week getting into my new lease. My guy Goran, it was between shows, between editing. I was like, Goran, this is the only time I can do it. I'm very busy, football season. I got stuff on the weekends too. He's like, don't worry, come in, we'll get you. I was in and out in 30 minutes in my new car. He helped me unload my old car into my new car. You're not going to get that type of customer service anywhere else. Go to Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC, lesstanford.com.
What up, though? Welcome to Woodward Ringside Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Spin Raxter, Chris, Nicholas Koloff, and our guy, John Kosko, PFF, fellow. Are you a Guardians fan?
Are you a Guardians fan?
Yeah, we asked.
I don't watch much baseball, so like,
good man.
You know, I get that. I don't even pay attention. I didn't know what was going on in baseball, but last night I saw some angry Tigers fans, and I just looked to see what it was, and saw that the Guardians now have the central lead, which is pretty impressive, I guess, because they were 14 games back at some point in the season. So yeah,
16 and a half, I think, was the biggest lead. And yeah, it's like it's basically Atlanta, New England Super Bowl type of situation.
I saw that the Guardians were like plus like 10,000 to win the Central or something like 2 weeks ago. So somebody probably made a lot of money.
Gross.
Sorry. That's gross.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? You want me to not make some money? What do you want me to do?
There you go.
John, man, I appreciate you taking the time and joining us. I'm sorry for asking you last minute, but we got your Browns this week. But before we get into that matchup, I got to ask, one of the biggest things Detroit Lions fans were crying about and whining about is a fellow edge rusher alongside Aiden Hutchinson. And
fans.
A lot of them feel like AQM's been that answer, but I feel like there's some context to these sacks. I feel like some of them are coverage sacks. Like not many quarterbacks are back there for 4 seconds and then, being able for Al-Quadin Muhammad to get to him. I know you look at a lot of defensive line tape. What has been your take on that?
I mean, he's been good. His pass rush grade so far this year is an 82.2. He has, 9 total pressures. Obviously, he's helped out by having, a lot of attention go to Aiden Hutchinson, but he's made the most of it, and he's still winning with true pass sets. So he's, when he's, it's an actual true pass set situation, he's winning his one-on-one reps there. But obviously he doesn't get the attention that like Aiden Hutchinson does. But we've graded him pretty well so far, and his pass rush win rate is at 20.8, which is 0.1 better than Aiden Hutchinson. Obviously he doesn't get the double and triple teams, but like I said, like if you're tasked with winning your one-on-ones and you do it, you're going to get graded appropriately, and he's playing well.
Let's go. I like to hear that.
Yeah, and outside of that, Aiden Hutchinson, the first game of the season, I didn't think he played that great against the Green Bay Packers. There were different scores out there for him, but now we've seen him kind of get his bearings. He's taken a couple hits on that leg. He's really getting into last week against the Ravens. He was everywhere. He was forcing a lot of those sacks that he didn't even get by just getting pressures, getting in the backfield, getting to Lamar Jackson and making him uncomfortable. How have you seen him kind of progress throughout these first couple weeks, trying to get back into that form he was last year when, before he got hurt, he was the best edge rusher in the league?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think he needed to get his legs back under him, needed to get a feel for being out in the game. Obviously was not real great in week one, had just two pressures. But he only had 21 pass rush snaps. So it's not like he had a lot of opportunities to showcase what he could do. And then, the last week or week 2 against the Bears, he was a lot better. He had 7 pressures and then 9 against the Ravens. But the quality of wins were significantly better against the Ravens than they had been the first 2 weeks. So 84.3 grade there. Still doesn't look like back to his self from last year, but he's slowly getting there, I think. And he's clearly one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. You know, he might not be like Myles Garrett tier or something like that, and I don't think there is really anybody in the NFL at that level, but he's doing really well, I think, in terms of getting back from that leg injury. And as you return from an injury like that, you need a little bit of time.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Myles Garrett shortly too. That guy, I mean, my God, I mean, it's. Wow,
he's
so
insane.
good.
I don't know what to say. He's just insane.
Insane, dude. But real quick before we get to that, because how I initially found you was your cornerback rankings a few years back. We had you on here and to pick your brain on that one. Terran Arnold, he's been having some bad moments. I don't know. You ranked the cornerbacks 2 weeks ago or leading into the Baltimore game. What does the tape look like that to you? Is it truly a situation where he's kind of on an island and you're just going to get beat sometimes, or is he consistently losing these reps?
He hasn't been great this year so far. I mean, I don't think there's any way to kind of like sugarcoat it at all for him. He is getting targeted a lot. He has 22 targets on the season, and has given up 13 catches, which is, I mean, it's about a 59%, completion rate. But the best cornerbacks in the NFL kind of are at 50% or lower. Just the two forcing completions this year, giving up 10 first downs. So he's been struggling, and I think I think he has the talent to get there, but maybe don't put him on the island like you're talking about. He's a guy that might need a little bit more help, and maybe not stress him, early on in his career like he's been so far. Because I know the Lions like to run a lot of man coverage, and they put him on those islands, but sometimes guys it takes them a little bit to get up to speed, and so far he's not been great in the NFL, since entering the league last year. So maybe they should do some things to help him out and not always put him on man coverage constantly.
And we're going to get to the Browns, and I feel like this is a good little segue because obviously the Browns and the Lions, they're playing this week. They both played the Ravens the past 2 weeks, and both of them shut down Derrick Henry. Like the Lions, outside of the first drive, held them to 15 yards the rest of the game or something like that. The Browns held them to 22 yards or whatever it was. Is that something that they're doing specifically, or is that just the Ravens' offensive line is terrible?
I would say it's something that those two teams are doing specifically. The Browns' defense has been phenomenal to start the season, and they've been battle tested. You're talking about the three of the best offenses in the NFL that they've faced, and in the Bengals, which, I mean, the Bengals don't have much of a running attack, but they obviously have a great passing attack when Burrow was in there. The Ravens, which we know they're just multifaceted, and then last week against the Packers, who looked unbeatable to start the season and all of a sudden came crashing back down based on, what we saw in that Browns game. So they're stopping the run better than any team in the NFL right now. They have the highest run defense grade. And then I think they're third in EPA per rush allowed in the NFL. The Lions are doing a great job as well. They've done a lot of work of, beefing up that defensive line, the linebackers, and in this, they have two of the best safeties in the NFL. And a lot of your run stuffing happens because of those safeties that are there, and they have a good scheme. So I think from a defensive standpoint, they've built their defense from the inside out. And they're doing a really good job stuffing the run. I think the Ravens, if you're able to stop the Ravens running attack, it does make them one-dimensional. And obviously Lamar Jackson can make you, pay at any point in the game. But if you're able to stop that run, it does help out. And these two teams are doing it some of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, speaking of that, I know my Lions, they're 8.5-point favorites. But after seeing what you guys did the Ravens ultimately scored a lot of points, but we guys did the Packers. And just knowing, we got a younger interior offensive line. Mason Graham looked phenomenal last time out. Where you at, though? And let's start with that matchup, actually. Tate Ratledge and Mason Graham. What matchup on that line? We also got Myles Garrett versus Penei Sewell. What's got you juice for this matchup on the offensive line, defensive line?
I mean, whenever you watch the Browns, you're always watching Myles Garrett. That's just inevitable. The guy gets triple teamed and he's still defeating blocks and making sacks and getting pressure on the quarterback. It's really phenomenal, actually, to watch him. But It really is insane. I mean, I think that viral clip that went around where the left tackle got beat so quickly he starts screaming Jordan run.
Jordan run!
It's so funny.
It's the epitome of the lookout block, like look out. like what? I mean, what can you do in that type of situation? And there's like, how often does that happen in a game? I really don't know. But I think the more intriguing matchup might not just be Mason Graham. I think he's kind of getting the headlines because he was a first round pick. But Malik Collins for the Browns defense has been absolutely phenomenal this year. He's the second highest graded interior defender in the NFL. His pass rush grade is a 91.5. I think that's fourth amongst all pass rushers in terms of that grade. He's the one that I think is really benefiting from teams double and triple teaming Myles Garrett. And Mason Graham is coming along in terms of, from a pass rushing standpoint, but I think there's more flashes of good play from him rather than, down to down consistency, which is what you're getting from Malik Collins, because he's been phenomenal there. And then when they have a rotation coming in there with they have an undrafted free agent, Aiden Huntington, who's been really good for them as well. So the Browns defensive line is a huge problem for pretty much any team that they're going to face this year. And obviously we just saw Penei Sewell, who, he's obviously at right tackle. I'd be really intrigued to see that matchup with Myles Garrett versus Penei Sewell. But Penei Sewell just came off a 98.7 overall grade in this last game or something like that, like a 99.3 run blocking grade. He was just insane in terms of this game against the Ravens. So I'd love to see that matchup if how often Myles Garrett goes to the left side to face Penei Sewell. But mostly Myles Garrett is on the defensive right side. They'll move him around a lot, obviously, but mostly his majority of his rushes come from the right. So whatever the Lions do to try to neutralize him will be an interesting matchup, obviously.
And I want to get a little bit into the matchup of the minds between the Lions offense and the Browns defense. Obviously, Lions fans very familiar with Jim Schwartz and his abilities. And not only the head coach, but he's been a fantastic defensive coordinator everywhere he's been. Johnny Morton showed us some things these past two games. I know the Bears, but the play calling, the design, and the kind of what he's doing out there, that's why I'm comfortable with the Lions spread, is because he can kind of give it to you any way you want. Where if the Browns are really shutting down the run game, or if Myles Garrett is tearing off Jared Goff's head, they could switch it up and do a couple different things to kind of move the rock either way. Are you comfortable with the versatility of the Browns defense to keep up with all the different things the Lions offense can throw at you?
Listen, man, I'm a Browns fan. Like I'm always, every game I go into as a Browns fan, I just expect them to give up these stupid big time plays and stuff like that. You look at it 2 weeks ago against the Ravens, they lost it, 41-17 or whatever that final score was. Obviously most of that was the Browns offense, just putting them in adverse situations constantly. They a fumble 6 happened, and then they had multiple short, red zone trips or something like that. So the Browns defense was great in that game, but it was just their offense putting them into just backs against the wall constantly in that game. I think that the Lions, their offense is good enough to put up, 17, 20 points in a game against this defense, which is just going to be plenty of points against the Browns offense. I just think the Browns, Browns offense has the lowest graded offense that we have in the NFL, whereas their defense is number one. And it's kind of similar to how it was in 2023, but I think that the offensive line was significantly better for the Browns offense. But the Lions have got a lot of good creativity. They have playmakers at every single position. Their offensive line is not quite as good as it has been in the past couple of years, but if you can get a lot of pressure on Jared Goff, that's where he starts to really struggle. But they do a really good job of keeping him clean throughout a game. And I think that regardless if you're putting pressure on them, we've seen games by the Lions, and I think week 1 was kind of hey, we don't have Ben Johnson. We're trying to figure out who we are with this new offensive line and whatnot. I think that was more of a blip on the radar than kind of indicative of who they are as a team. They're going to be able to run plays and have some creativity. They can just pound it down your throat if they need to do that as well. So it's a challenge on all facets for a defense like the Browns, and I think they can, crack a couple big ones and, get a couple touchdowns that way, and, really kind of stress this defense, regardless of how good they've been in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Where is your biggest insecurity, particularly in this matchup against the Detroit Lions with the Browns defense?
The secondary, basically. If Denzel Ward is a stud, obviously we know that he's susceptible to missing tackles. So if he's having to make more than his fair share of tackles, that's an issue. But I mean, Greg Newsome's a good player, but if he's tested enough, he's going to give up a couple of big ones, and then the rest of that secondary outside of basically Denzel Ward, they tend to struggle in terms of man coverage, or just maybe they're prone to a bust or two in coverage as well. So they're not great on the back end compared to their front end. And the reason why they're so good is because of that front seven is just phenomenal. Like even Devin Bush and Carson Schwessinger, the rookie linebacker they had, those guys have been great this year. I think Devin Bush is like, I just looked at it this morning. We have an advanced coverage grade, which is kind of like looking at not just when you were targeted, but how well you do and just like executing your assignment, preventing separation and stuff like that. He's been the number one linebacker in the NFL in that aspect. Where they struggle is the cornerbacks and safeties, where they're much further down the list on that.
Schwessinger, I'd like them coming out. I think he went to the perfect spot with the Browns. That defensive line in front of him, he's allowed to just run around like his hair's on
Browns
fire.
had a great draft this year.
Well, yeah, they just swindled the Jaguars
really
too. You got Schwessinger and Mason, and then you got another first next year.
And you got Judkins and Fannin too.
And look at Travis Hunter right now.
Yeah,
he's not doing nothing.
Yeah. I think everybody was like criticizing Andrew Berry for that first round where they obviously traded back, got Mason Graham, gave up on Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, depending on whatever you want to do there. I'm always of the opinion that like if you can get an extra first round pick, like you do that, because you just never know with these guys, right? Like obviously Travis Hunter is a special talent. He can play both sides of the ball, but is he going to be able to do that at an elite level on both sides of the ball? I don't know. Like, right. We just don't know. Same thing with like just any position player that you take in the first round. I think the more swings at the plate that you can take, the better. And that's what the Browns did. And so I, was, thinking back on it, like in hindsight, should they have maybe taken, Armand Membo or an offensive tackle there based on how the issues that they have on their offensive line? Maybe, but like, you can't argue the process in terms of what they did in terms of getting an extra first round pick, because I mean, the Jaguars are 2-1. I think they're 2-1, right? But like, they don't look great to me. Then they've had a pretty easy schedule to start the season. So I think you're probably going to have just having an extra first round pick is great. And I think it's going to be a top 15, pick or whatever. And that's going to be obviously.
I loved what the Browns did because Mason Graham was one of my favorite prospects in the draft overall. Harold Fannin was my number one tight end in the draft, and I love Judkins too. So I thought it was amazing.
You guys got Fannin too?
Yeah.
Hey, and then Dylan Sampson was like really good in week one, Tennessee guy, running back. And then like I was a big Shadur Sanders fan coming out of the draft. We'll see if either him or Dylan Gabriel like kind of play out. But like, I think one of those guys should be playing pretty soon. Like I don't see the point in like having Joe Burrow continue to like be a statue back there. But
old-fashioned throwback of pocket passers in this matchup. Joe Burrow or Joe Flacco, Jared Goff, probably the two least mobile players.
I think Flacco had like a 30-yard run 2 years ago, or like last year, or something like that.
If he did, I don't remember. I don't know if you've watched him this year, but he doesn't look like he's got much on his feet anymore. That is for sure.
Well, speaking of the rookies, our guy Nick has a question about Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah, coming off his brightest game of his young career, what are your expectations going into Ford Field, the Browns' offensive line against the Detroit Lions' defensive line? Because we've held lead backs this season to under 66 total yards, and that's Jacobs, Swift, and Henry. All were under that number in terms of rushing yards. What are your expectations for Judkins in his third game in the NFL?
Yeah, the Browns, we were talking about the offensive line for the Browns. It's a problem for them, and they're also starting like two backup tackles in this game. DeJuan Jones went down. I think I mean, we'll see if Jack Conklin comes back for this game, but I mean, it's looking like they're going to have 2 backup offensive tackles, which means they're going to have some struggles there. And I think, the interior guys of Teller and Posick and Batonio, they're just kind of getting older, and they're not as good as it used to be. So with the Detroit Lions defensive line, as good as they are, I think they're going to keep shutting down the rushing attack, and the Browns are going to struggle in this game in terms of offense. You saw it last week. Judkins had 2 runs basically against the Packers that, I think they combined for over 50 yards or something like that. The rest of the game, he was just completely shut down. Obviously they scored a touchdown at the end of the game. That was because, Jordan Love gifted them a 4-yard, drive basically. So they were able to score right there. So I think it's going to be the Lions defense line is going to win this battle. And I would just be surprised if Judkins goes over 60 yards and breaks that streak that the Lions have right now.
And not to change the subject completely. I mean, it's Lions defense. He talked about Terrion Arnold a little bit and how he was looking. DJ Reed was a guy that Brad Holmes went out there. He signed to bring him in here, replace Carlton Davis, really be that cornerback 1 in this defense. And I thought they got him at a steal for the level of player that he is. He's been pretty damn good. We haven't heard his name much. He's been pretty damn good out there so far. What have you seen out of DJ Reed so far? Obviously, just beginning of the season, but still with the start of his Lions tenure.
Yeah, I think the first game was a little bit of a struggle for him. He had his coverage grade there was a 30.5, not good, obviously, but I think he's a guy that I talked about him. I think we talked about him before, where this offseason, he's one of the most consistent cornerbacks in the NFL. He's not going to wow you with a tremendous amount of forced incompletions, but he's always going to be in tight coverage. Generally going to be just stingy on these guys, not letting them get open and have big gains on you. Last game he had a 78.9 coverage grade, and he was great. So I think I think it was one catch for 7 yards, right? He just wasn't tested, had the 1 pass breakup. So I think he's doing what he always does, which is he prevents wide receivers from getting open, and when the ball does come his way, he's usually there to make a quick tackle or prevent a completion. So I think he's doing what I expected him to do, which is just be consistent and always in good positions.
John, man, I appreciate your time. I saw your article heading into Baltimore. You had Meek Robinson ranked 34th. Did you get to catch that Baltimore tape yet?
I have not taken a look at that one yet, but I will. I'll have to take a look at it, and obviously I'll get a really good look at the Lions this weekend because I generally do the Browns games as well early on in the week. But yeah, I haven't taken a look at that one yet.
Before we let you go, man, what do you got going on? What articles you pumping out this week, and maybe a score prediction?
Yeah, so every week I put out a cornerback ranking article, defensive line ranking article, and I also have the advanced coverage grades that we put out. And I don't write an article with it. We just post them. So I do have that. So those 3 things are always come out every Thursday of every week. So we'll get that tomorrow, and then the score. Let's see, prediction of the score. I'd say 17-10. I think the Lions are going to win at 17-10.
I can see that one. Actually, I do have one question just from a Browns fan, because I like Kevin Stefanski, and I obviously think Jim Schwartz is a phenomenal defensive coordinator. Are fans still being patient with him, or were they? They kind of understand this is they got to get a quarterback or something, right? Or what's the fan base?
Right. It's the fan base is keeps changing. It's a roller coaster ride for the fan base, where one week they want to fire Stefanski, and then after this past week they think he's maybe he is that coach of the year that he's been twice. So I think for me, I think Stefanski gets absolutely the most out of his talent that he can get. This offense is not talented. I just don't care any way you put it. The talent on this offense is really, I think you have some really good young players and stuff like that, but with a bad offensive line and a 40-year-old quarterback, or maybe 41-year-old quarterback, whatever Joe Flacco is, it's going to be difficult to put a lot of points on the board, unfortunately. And I think obviously they took a swing on Deshaun Watson several years ago, and obviously that's not panned out, and they got to find their quarterback, but they also need to fix that offensive line. And I think Stefanski has done a really good job of getting this team to be competitive every single week. I think, really you could look at it and it should be 2-1 without, if it wasn't for a missed field goal in week 1. So I think, you give credit to Stefanski of getting the team ready to go every single week. And I think he's good, but the fan base is always all over the map on him.
Myles Garrett went super sane week 1. I mean, that was, what do you have, like 3 straight, 2 straight? What was that?
He had 2. He almost got 3 straight. He was like a half inch away from getting 3 in a row.
Yeah. He will, when he turns it on, so that Bengals game was interesting because I was watching how often they were double teaming him, and basically every single time they didn't double team him, he either got the sack or had a pressure. It was only like 6 times or whatever that they didn't double team him, and he was still getting double teams or something like that. Or he was still getting pressures when he was getting double teamed. There was a sack he had against Jordan Love where he was double teamed and he got to Love within like 2.2 seconds or something like that.
Jeez.
It was insane. So yeah.
Actually, I got one more question. I'm sorry to be annoying about this if I'm taking too much of your time, but the Giants collected like a plethora of talent on the defensive line. Are they getting a return on that? I haven't really got to watch any of their games. I did not watch the Sunday night one. I'm not watching Chiefs versus Giants. I'm sorry, brother. I got work in the morning.
No, so the defensive line has been really good, right? Like they have an insanely talented defensive line. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and Abdul Carter is a really formidable 4-headed monster or 3-headed monster. And then I think they still have Kayvon Thibodeau, and he's been good. He's been not great. Like he was a 1st-round pick, and he's not living up to that status, but he's still pretty talented and gets to the quarterback, at a decent rate. But what's troubling for them is that they're not very good offensively, and I think they just benched Russell Wilson for Jackson Dart. So I think that's a smart move. I think you kind of want to see what your 1st-round quarterback can do and just let him play and see if he can do anything. And I think the defense is their secondary is not very strong and their linebackers aren't strong, so they still have a lot of building to do with that team. But that defensive line is really good.
And then I promise is the final one. I promise I'll let you go to this. How does it feel like watching Baker? I mean, these past 2 years, this guy has been out of
so I'm happy
world.
for Baker. I was super high on him coming out, right? And you have to love a comeback story like that. You just can't not, right? And I think when the Browns decided to move off of him, I don't disagree with that move. The guy was broken. I think he really was broken. And can you mend that relationship and fix him and rehab him and get him back to what he is now? Obviously that happened, but would that be able to happen in Cleveland? I don't know. I really don't know. And he was traded to the Panthers. He was bad in Carolina, and then he was traded again to the Rams. Obviously, he had the one game where he came back out of nowhere to win that game for them. But outside of that, last drive, he was bad in LA. So for him to turn around his career in Tampa Bay and now be, I think he's probably a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Kudos to the dude. I think he's got his swagger back. He's got his confidence back. It's a pretty rare thing for what he was able to do. He looked dead and broken as a quarterback, and now he looks good. I'm just happy for him and, making plays, and, he's still kind of that Brett Favre gunslinger mentality, which is awesome to see now.
John, again, I appreciate your time. If there's anything I or our fan base can do to return you for this favor, let me know, man.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. And it's good to be on with you guys again.
Thanks, John. Appreciate you, man.
I'll never forget you rocking that Barry jersey. I'll remember that forever.
That's right.
Shout out, John. Hopefully the Tigers can win tonight, and then John doesn't have to get into baseball because he won't have to worry about the Guardians. But I'm honestly glad he wasn't a Guardians fan because I didn't want to start crying. Because if I was a Guardians fan, I got on a Detroit talk show to even talk about the Lions. I know I'd go.
Shout out to John. He's a great guy.
Shout out, John.
I don't think you rub it in too hard. All right. Let's go to break. Come back. We got some chat. You let us know. I got some stuff from Dan Campbell on possibly replacing Taylor with Meek Robinson. That was something to take away for some people. I want you guys to take away. Or I got a lot of great clips from the Amon-Ra St. Brown podcast with David Montgomery. In the chat, you guys let us know. We'll come back to that. But first,
Black Rock.
Let me tell you about Black Rock Bar and Grill. Black Rock Bar and Grill. If you are looking for dinner plans that sizzle, head to Black Rock Bar and Grill, home of the steak on the stone. Try the steak and lobster for just $19.99 now for a limited time only. Come and get Braylon's meat, 20-ounce hand-cut New York strip. Feast like a beast. Also try their $14.99 fish and chips all day, every day. Cheesy pull-apart bread. That was delicious. We had that. That was absolutely phenomenal. And their famous chili back for a limited time. And don't forget, when the Lions win, you win. Stop into Black Rock after a Lions win and get a free appetizer.
Free.
I'm about to start doing that. 7 locations: Portage, Ann Arbor, Novi, Heartland, Davidson, Utica, and Canton. Black Rock Bar and Grill, a sizzle above the rest. Now, tell us about Buddies.
79 years
Damn.
in the biz. You can only do that if you're doing it the right way. I mean, that's like winning the Super Bowl every single year. They invented the Detroit-style pizza, my personal favorite kind of pizza. Try it for the first time if you haven't already. Visit buddiespizza.com. They got tons of other stuff too. They got pastas, they got salads, they got bars when you go in the locations too. Visit buddiespizza.com. Use promo code TIMMILL and save yourself 10% on something historic part of Detroit, and that's Buddy's Pizza.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where everybody can get a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15 a month, or you can upgrade to the Black Card and get you some amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. And let me tell you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs got the best stuff in the game, whether it's the high-low pre-rolls, the Boom Shakalaka Tarantulas, the THCA Blizzard Pack Infused Moon Rocks, or any of their top-shelf strains. Just go to getmadpacks.com to find a store carrying it near you. Mad flavor, mad high, Mad Packs.
And
Right,
the thing that sells me on him is his ability to run the football. We haven't had that.
Right.
I'm gonna keep these rolling at random. Shout out to Unky Neil, Unky Stick, just holding it down, just saying some of the funniest shit.
Have you ever been swallowed up?
Stick today said they ran an intentional run play that they tried to pass on. Stick, that's not a fucking thing.
Oh, it's interesting.
Your offensive lineman can't go downfield on a that's not how that works.
I
love them.
Yeah, I was letting them do their thing.
And then what did they say at one point too? Like, you guys, it's okay to admit that you're wrong.
Yeah.
2 guys that want to Malik Willis but won't. Even though they have video of tape footage out, just won't. All right, that's cool. Hey, I just want to keep it. Want to keep it a buck. That's all I'm asking for. What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Eazy, by Spin Raxter, on Chris, Nicholas Koloff. Smash the like button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Share the stream. I did not keep an eye on the chat while during the break. Did you guys see anything particular for Amon-Ra or the Dan Campbell clip?
No. There's a super chat in there.
Shout out.
From Matthew Kruger. He said, Terrion Arnold was buried alive by Bateman, Goff 100.
100.
Yeah, I mean,
Burned alive.
Terrion burned alive. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, Terrion did not look good in the first half. He looked real good in the second half, but first half, not so much.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here then, Speed, I'm going to allow you to pick. This is the chat that I pick. Do you want the Dan Campbell clip, or do you want the Amon-Ra and Dave Montgomery stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
No, let's do the Dan Campbell stuff.
Chris gets a
All
pick.
right, here it is.
You got to have good coverage to be able to get 7 sacks. Where is he at in his development, and what you guys need from him to be a successful defense?
Yeah, look, there's some things that I know that he wants back from that game the other night that he knows he can do better. We know he can do better, and it's just, man, it's honing your craft on a couple of areas. I mean, look, there's a reason why what we ask of these corners is not easy, and but it's also why you're here. It's why we acquire you, whether it's the draft or it's free agency. It's because we're going to put you on an island, and it's not going to be easy, but that's the task you're given. And he's a young player, and he's working at it, and he's going to get better. All right, he's going to get better. It's going to take a little bit of time here, and we're going to work through a few of these things. But look, every young player, man, they have these ebbs and flows of their career or of a second year, things of that nature. And so he's going to be all right, man. We're just going to keep working through it. And look, we'll probably use Amik on some stuff too. Amik's a good player, so we're going to mix it up a little bit.
Had to put the cheeks in there at the end.
Cheeks in there.
Amon-Ra saying cake.
Yeah. And I guess it does translate from the super chat from Matthew Kruger, because he said Terrion was burnt alive out there, and Dan Campbell's obviously asked about that. That clip courtesy of Jansen and Costa in the mornings over there at the flagship. Shout out to those guys. But we're gonna have to ride it out, Smitty. It's been a rough start. The crazy part is though, and it's not just like reports. You know, I was trying to be there every day I could. I seen it from my eyes. And it was just, and I understand the familiarity when it comes to Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. That does make sense. Once you grow accustomed to going against these guys every single day, you're going to win some reps against them because you know the plays and with these guys, they're their go-tos. But I see them do it against Nico Collins. I'm seeing them they come to town. I see them do it against the Dolphins. Albeit the Dolphins' offense not looking great right now, but I'm going to side with Dan Campbell and just wait it out. But the great news is, what he said at the end, was Amik Robertson. If it's getting bad there, we can get Amik Robertson in there. And Amik Robertson, of course, shut down Justin Jefferson in a big-time game for the Detroit Lions. I mean, I would call that a playoff game because it's literally for a bye week into the playoffs, the number 1 seed. We have Amik there, too. What was your takeaway from what he said? I guess specifically maybe the Amik part's the most interesting part.
I don't take much from it. He said we're going to use Amik at different situations and switch some things up. They're not going to bench Terrion Arnold. I don't know. If that's what people want to hold on to, if that's what they want to take away from it, you can do your thing and you can live how you live. But they're not going to bench Terrion Arnold.
Yeah.
He wasn't good in the first half. He was good in the second half. Be good the whole game next week. It's basically what it is. Stop getting cooked.
I mean, there are situations, too, as a cornerback on an island. Again, Dan said it there in that clip. We ask these guys to do a lot. And a lot of times, if you go watch that Ravens game, some of those sacks came off of Lamar back there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just no one to throw to. And that's where you got to give credit to the Terrion. But then there was a play like the one of Bateman where he's turned his head around. He's 5 yards off of him and he catches the ball. And it's what happened there? But I remember specifically, I've said during the offseason, I can see TA playing a little bit of nickel. I think he has the athletic ability to do so. I think he has the physicality to do so, too, if you're bumping these guys off the line in those situations, too. So, if you're switching him and Amik, I'm not opposed to that, but I think we're a long while from that happening, especially just hearing Dan Campbell say what he had to say. Nick?
Yeah, I think he's basically just opening things up to, dialogue that it is going to still take time, that it is his second season, but he's not a finished product by any means. And I think that's why he's kind of just prepping, all of the fans out there, all of the listeners, that exact thing, that he's not going to be perfect every time out. And we don't expect him to be perfect every time out. I think that he is just basically putting a little wiggle room around Terrion Arnold and his learning curve in the NFL, although it is his second year, which, I want to see him, make some more, turnover worthy plays, but he is going to make mistakes still, and he is a very young cornerback in the NFL. In the way this defense is set up, Dan Campbell basically just prepping you, letting you know our corners are going to get burned at times, and Terrion will learn from it, and he has to learn from it. As if he doesn't, that's when Amik will come in, at the end of the season. If Terrion's still making these mistakes in Week 17 and it's glaring and getting ready for the playoffs, I'm saying that if he's not learning from these mistakes, I think that's why he did mention, Robertson as well, because that's a position where they feel like they're pretty solid.
Yeah. Jeff?
I actually watched a little bit of Terrion and Pat Surtain's podcast today, and you know what? I'm going to cut Terrion a little bit of slack. I seen a graphic that he only allowed 11 yards in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So, he does have the ability. We have seen him play good. It's just those times where he does get burnt. It looks really, really bad. But he is a young corner, and there's no way that all that hype coming from, the coach's staff and, even Amon-Ra saying it, that, Terrion has looked a lot better this year. I don't see him just completely falling off the planet of Earth and just not being a good corner. I think he has the work ethic that he's going to put in, to make sure that he's, a good corner in the league for a long time.
Yeah, I think there's any worry, and I don't even really want to say so. I don't necessarily have one yet, but it's the proprioception type situation. Like your feel of your spatial awareness of another human next to you. Because the turnaround he did against Bateman, I've seen that multiple times now, and I've also seen on the Alabama tape too.
That was bad.
When he goes to turn his body to switch the other direction, he completely loses the other guy. That part concerns me a little bit, but again, we still got time. And the stat that you're talking about, I saw that too. It was the first half against the Baltimore Ravens. He had 2 targets on 2 catches for 44 yards. In the second half, there's 3 targets, 1 catch for 11 yards on TA. So a little bit of a turnaround too. And don't forget, that second half is particularly the fourth quarter. They're passing a lot.
They're throwing a lot.
I had to because we were whooping that ass. But yeah, and again, break glass in case of emergency. You take Amik Robinson, you put him on the outside, and you sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson to go play nickelback for you. No, I'm playing. R.I.P. C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I don't know. That I completely forgot it.
CJ, you did
said
something
that.
to you.
That just kind of
You ain't calling him up?
I'm surprised
No,
no victory laps this time around.
I don't care.
He's a loser, dude.
I don't care.
Yeah.
My victory lap isn't anything to do with him. My victory laps would be towards you guys. All you guys had shit to say in the comment section. He's a great leader. He's such a great guy. You're just a fucking hater. You don't know shit. Oh, he burned you. He didn't fucking burn me. What the fuck? How do you fucking burn? I don't give a fuck. What I said was it correct. Do you see him on the team again? You see him on the team that signed him afterward? They traded him. And then he got signed somewhere else. He got kicked off the team. I don't got no victory laps. It's lapping itself. You're watching it play out in real time. My shit talk would be to the fans that were talking shit to me.
Yeah, and I'm fine with Terrion Arnold. He's got to get better. He's going to get better. He's got a lot of big matchups coming forward with a lot of very good quarterbacks who are going to do things like Lamar Jackson did, where you put the ball right where it needs to be. You put the ball right in the spot, and he's going to have to be there in sticky coverage. So, continue to get better, continue to learn from this, and continue to play like you did in the second half. That's all we need.
Eazy D313 crying. Not crying. Trying to take a jab at us. Don't you need depth in a Super Bowl window? You have depth at the cornerback position.
Yeah, I'm good with our cornerback depth.
Unfortunately, you don't at the edge position. You already lost one guy. Well, guess who popped up on the injury report today, Spinny? AQM.
Yeah.
With a knee situation.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's a short week.
Yeah, it was speculated anyways, so I'm not taking any stock into that. But Weezy, if Weezy doesn't think you need depth in a Super Bowl window,
at a premier position,
I don't know. Like, I don't know the point you're trying to make there.
I mean,
do you not think they need depth? Do you not think teams need depth? Is
Weezy out?
Like what? I think all Lions fans learned last year the hard way that you need a lot of depth if you want to make a Super Bowl run. But if you're gonna do what you're doing, and I don't know, like you could make points without just being stupid.
You want your depth. You have guys that are multifaceted. First and foremost, in Brian Branch, you could ask to do literally anything out there. You have Amik Robinson can play inside, outside. You have Cleo Dorsey, I think, is a lot better than people give him credit for, although still obviously a backup cornerback in the National Football League. You also have Avonte Maddox.
Avonte Maddox and Rock
just won a
Ya-Sin.
Super Bowl, and then Rock Ya-Sin.
Two great signings.
You have the depth in the secondary. You're talking about, again, but we're doing positional value. What will hold higher regard, the edge position or cornerback position?
Yeah.
And then at the edge position, you don't have that depth. You're literally signing guys off of scrap heap piles after roster cuts.
No.
Although I do like Lacey. I liked a lot of what I saw out of Lacey.
He made some good plays. Tyrus Wheat still going to get that first defensive snap, but I'm sure he's great. Loved what. That's why we praise the signings of Rock Ya-Sin and Avonte Maddox, bringing in quality depth in the back end.
Versatility, too.
Versatility.
And it's so funny, too. Versatility is a word, but you've been saying versatility so long, you said it in the interview.
Yeah.
He probably thinks you're a little bit of a cousin now.
No.
That guy said versatility.
That's how we do it. That's how
Is
we
that
do
how
it.
they talk in Michigan?
In Detroit, it's versatility. All right, we're going to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to keep talking Lions. But first,
Lions, baby.
Let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Stop in, sit down, relax, get an award-winning haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. You get a hot leather neck shave, a scalp massage, a hot towel treatment, all that wrapped into one in the King's treatment. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. It's wicked awesome. And let me tell you about Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning, family-owned and operated since 1981. Give them a call or go visit them online at sharonsheating.com. Remember, you want to get your tune-up of your furnace done before winter starts because you don't want that first week really cold to now know you need a new furnace. You can get a free tune-up if you're a DTE customer. Hit up Sharon's. They'll do it for you. Give them a call or visit them at sharonsheating.com. Also, Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning on Facebook. Family-owned and operated since 1981.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters. Woodward Sports.
Jack's Car Wash. Make sure you text WSN at 888-522-1729 and you can get yourself a free car wash on Woodward Sports. Any of their 40-plus locations around Michigan. Free vacuums, free compressed air, free mat cleaning rooms. Just go to Jack's. You know them. You see them. They're all over the place. Text WSN at 888-522-1729 for a free car wash.
What up, though? Welcome, Mike, to Whatever Waits Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy by Spin More Action. I'm Chris, Nicholas Koloff, Jeff in the building as well, too, a rookie in the booth. So how about this, Rick? We got a bunch of video clips in there. Some that you sent to, shout out to you, of the David Montgomery podcast with Amon-Ra St. Brown and EQ. Play any of them. And we'll just react. Great podcast, by the way. Like, after this show, I'd probably recommend go watching it, honestly, if you're a Lions fan. I know we get some Bears fans in here. Bears fans might like it, too. He is a former Bear.
It was a good show. They were clowning.
Probably hurt they let him go, though.
Here we go.
Debo, what do you think is the biggest difference between with Ben and with Johnny Mo? Well, I never even asked you this.
I think they
like
just
for you as a running back.
Obviously, they just different coaches, but I think Ben was more like conservative in the sense of like how he like talked to us. And you know, like when you knew when Ben was hot, when he was not. But when Ben like installed plays, he was coaching us. Bro, no bullshit. When Johnny will be installing plays, I be feeling like buddy cussing us out. No bullshit. Chamo, you want to fucking get the fucking 10? Come back down to the fucking ball. Out of here.
Fucking score. Touchdown.
Every time you touch the fucking ball, man, you want to fucking score. Out of here. He's smacking the goddamn PowerPoint board hard as hell. Smacking that whole shaking and some more shit. And I'm like, damn, bro, we in trouble. Like, nah, but I think
that
like,
shit is funny.
they just different, bro. Like, but when you come to like halftime, Johnny he be chilling, bro. Like he come talk to us. Like he don't be on that. He don't be yelling like when we in game, bro. So they different, bro. They just they got different oars.
I feel like last year too, it was more for you as a running back. It was like plays with Jameer and then plays with you. Now it's like whoever's in is in. Y'all both run the play.
Yeah, definitely. It's like that. It's definitely still plays where it's like it's tagged to one another, but it can definitely work out more. Like if and I can run a couple of things too. So
I guess like I reverse the question back to you guys. Like, what has been the biggest difference for you watching the new offense under Johnny Mo versus Ben Johnson?
I liked what they said in that clip as well. A little bit later, how he talked about how it seemed like Ben Johnson had certain plays that Gibbs would run and certain plays that David Montgomery would run, while Johnny Morton, it's just I'm calling the plays, and if you're out there, you're running them. Like, he's not calling specific plays catered to those guys. He's just like, this is the offense, this is what's working, this is what we're going to do, and you got to do it. And so I feel like there's, I don't want to say more accountability under Johnny Morton because I don't want to like shit on Ben. Ben was amazing and he was so good, but I feel like Johnny Morton connects to these guys more because his mindset is different. Ben is more of the analytical nerd, super smart,
new age
new age type of guy, while Johnny Morton's just he's the fucking football guy. Well, we're fucking doing it. We're scoring fucking touchdowns. We're gonna go out there and fucking kick the like. That's the kind of coaching I would react to personally. Like it's the I don't want to call him a rah-rah guy because I feel like that's kind of disrespectful to what Johnny Morton is.
His delivery's different.
Yeah, he's more hype.
When I was listening to the Jared Goff pod with Mark Sanchez, and Mark Sanchez played with him at USC. He was a coach at USC, and he was just like he's like ripping your face off when he speaks to you. That's just how he is. And he's an old school guy. Played in the '90s, played football himself. Obviously, he's up there in age. You get a little more impatient the older you get. Like, delivery is going to be different. But I guess to answer the question, like the differences I've seen so far, obviously week one anomaly, I'm throwing out the window, especially after that Ravens game. But I feel like we're running the ball a lot more. And I feel like Gibbs is getting a lot more of the share versus what it used to be. I mean, kind of how they said towards the end of the clip. Some plays were for Monty, some plays were for Gibbs. Nowadays, whoever's in there, you're running the play. Like you're all grown up now. You can run the fucking football at short yards if you're Jameer Gibbs. Although I prefer Monty. But I think we're running the ball a lot more. Again, the Ravens game was 55%, the 8th most in Dan Campbell's 86 games with the Detroit Lions. And I love that. Like that's the shit. When we were talking about the vertical stuff in the offseason, no. Now and then, yeah. But let's not switch that to the main thing.
Johnny Morton's not stupid.
And because guess what? They tried it in Green Bay. We saw it.
But again,
didn't work out. Went right back to what was working.
Again,
motions, running the ball, set up play action. You can say all about the offensive line. The play calling was bad too.
No, I think it's a little overblown. If you look at Jared Goff's throw,
not overblown if you watch the tape.
If you look at Jared Goff's throw charts against the Green Bay Packers in his last 3 games against them with Ben Johnson and Johnny Morton, they are all extremely similar. That's what they did to attack the Packers defense.
I'm talking about you talking about the throw charts. I mean, the throw charts are different because obviously he was going to Jameer Gibbs, short yard shit. What was there? I'm talking about just the route development, like what was developing down the field versus now we're going back to the middle of the field. The shit that worked. And thank God they did, because look where we're at.
Echo 4 Whiskey in the Woodward Sports chat. He says the biggest difference is we don't have the third quarter slump. That is true.
That was a 1-year thing. I hate when people say that.
I mean,
that was 2022.
Echo for Whiskey stays drunk.
Yeah,
crazy takes from
pretty
that
good.
guy.
I don't think that's that crazy of a take.
It was a 1-year thing, and there was no like necessary answer for it. It was like football shit happening. It wasn't like play calling. It'd be fumbles. Like it's just random shit happening.
Rare good take by Echo.
Looked pretty good in the third quarter against Baltimore.
Yeah.
And against the Bears.
Yeah, again, but
And
the third quarter woes was only 2022.
Yeah.
When we get back, though, speaking of Johnny Mo, learning from that Green Bay Packers game, a little interesting take on the pitch, the brilliant fourth down play call by the Detroit Lions against the Baltimore Ravens on the goal line. But first, let's talk to him about Gold Crown, and I will do that because Gold Crown's been around since the caregiver days. So I can find them over 300 different dispensaries doing the damn thing. They work behind the scenes with a lot of your favorite products. Maybe a little bit of Mad Packs. Maybe a little something else too. Gold Crown been doing it forever. They got their own infused gestures now too. But the newest product they're rolling out is the Crown Jewels. They're gummies, gelatin-free, infused, and coated with nerds for the extra pop. Find them at a dispensary near you and smoke like royalty only.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Lamar looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of the Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit him at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or give him a call at 248-426-9944.
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live with Sports.com. Easy to watch Spin Reaction. Chris, Nicholas Koloff. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. Get into it. Some of the clips from the Amon-Ra St. Brown podcast, St. Brown Brothers podcast. My bad, EQ. I always do it to you. With David Montgomery. If you watched it to the end, it was getting kind of weird, getting kind of chippy between EQ and David Montgomery. Timo don't play. But here's one of the lighter moments. One of the cooler moments, I guess, when they asked about the pitch on that fourth down call that ended up being a touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs.
The quarterback, right?
Come on, you see I dimed in.
Was it a dime though?
Look at it again.
I'm like, just make sure it's back. I saw the replay. I was like, okay, as long as it's backwards, we're chilling.
Bro, I threw a better ball than Jared just threw to you. Look at it.
I was saying, but in the game, I was watching the game. I was like, how does Demo throw a spiral and then Jared Goff?
Watch.
I'm like, he throws a spiral and then Jared Goff throws a
throw a
duck.
ducky bucky. Watch this.
Yeah, I was like,
spiral. Ducky bucky.
Ducky bucky.
Yeah, man.
That bitch is wobbly.
I can't lie to you. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Bro, when he threw that, I said, no way he just threw that. Marlon Humphrey was looking right at me. I said, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, fool. When I see him let it go out of his hand, bro, I instantly start thinking about like what your life is gonna be after that hit. Bro.
All I thought was catch it and get down.
He's finna hit you, bro. You got great like awareness. Your awareness is so crazy, bro. You know when to get down, fool. I ain't gonna lie.
That was a different clip of Dave Demo. That's one of the funnier parts. Somebody did the spiral better than Jared Goff.
He did.
Yeah, Jared Goff did a nice little spiral on that one, too. It was a nice ball.
A little while, but yeah, no, I mean, it was a great ball by Jared Goff.
Yeah, I was dying, though, at the part where he's like, oh, I see you finally threw it to you. I was kind of worried about what your life would be like after, because obviously Amon-Ra got kind of cleaned up right there. I don't know who hit him on that one, if it was Humphreys or Kyle Hamilton or whatever, but the interaction on that one kind of funny, too. If we keep going with the funny ones and come back to the pitch one if you want. Or
yeah, let's do that.
We got it.
Let's play another funny. Play
Let's
another one.
Play
of the
another
verticals.
funny one. We'll do the pitch one as a full segment.
Okay. Play that one. No, this one. Oh, yeah. Click that one. Here. No. You want to do this one right here.
My favorite wide receivers, the top two that I've ever seen, like with my own eyes, is Allen Robinson and then Darnell Mooney. But when I seen Saint, bro, I'm like, I ain't never seen nothing like it. So But I ain't got nothing but respect for dude. He doing that weird shit, but I vibe with him.
What weird shit?
That shaky.
Demo, shaky. What weird shit?
Shaky.
Shaky.
Shaky. You got one more strike.
Like that weird shit he did on his first down, like the ass shake.
St. Brown, first catch, a big one, first and goal.
Nah,
Bro,
see
I
that.
ain't never
Demo,
seen somebody get the
bro,
first
tell him what
one.
that was. That's a shimmy, bro.
I ain't hit that, my boy. I can't save you.
Why not, bro?
Bro, the memes were going crazy.
Yeah, you was on Twitter. You was on Twitter, like the Twitter.
The net.
The Twitter.
That's a shimmy. You ever see Malik Beasley, Demo, from the Pistons hit the three and then hit the shimmy?
Yeah, fool, but he not
That's
them tight ass.
But the thing is, they zoomed in like
leotard shaking that ass.
He said he ain't got them tight ass pants on.
Oh, me. Motherfucker told me they use their parlay money, throw money at your ass. Won't lie to you, boy. I said tied up like that.
Double caked up on a Monday afternoon.
By the way,
I am a fan of
felt
guys
the
with big
exact
butts.
same way about that Sally. You gotta retire that one, brother. Like, it is a little different doing that in basketball shorts versus the fucking super tight ass white pants.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered.
Bro is cheeked up on Twitter. By the way, Demo the real one. If he's on Twitter.
Yeah,
You guys
Demo is
know
a real
If
one.
you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Twitter is a place.
Twitter is a great place.
It is a great place. It's kind of nuts. It's so funny because I remember when Blue Sky came out, it was like the left's Twitter, right? When people wanted to try and boycott Elon, where nobody
never made one.
Everybody still.
That shit was everybody. I remember so many people. Oh, you better get over there now. Twitter's about to get shut down. So many fucking certain people. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, follow me on. I was like, dude, I'm not making a fucking Blue Sky. What the fuck is that?
Dude. Is Shep on Twitter? I'm on Twitter.
My brother's on Blue Sky. I'll tell you that.
Is he using it?
Yeah, he sends it because he's not on Twitter or Facebook anymore.
That's so
He
funny.
sends me all these
Because
links
I'm
to
gonna get
Blue
it right
Sky.
up
I'm like,
in ya.
dude, I'm not. No.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
send me a Twitter link like a regular person, dude.
Yeah, I gotta check. I wonder if like the other guys are actually still using that, like Shefty and them. I mean, they got people that probably run it for them, huh?
I don't know. But
you gotta trust. The funniest
you
part,
probably link your Twitter to it, so every time you tweet, it just posts on there automatically.
that is fair.
I'm always
You got
fucking
stuff
with
like All Sweet. You could do that. The funniest part about that, we saw about people taking the parlay winnings, throwing like Amon-Ra like a stripper. Yeah.
Dude, you're not wearing those tight ass pants.
Insane
Demo's funny, dude.
Selly. Oh my god, he was funny as shit.
Yeah.
And then when he got mad, he was even more funny. He just wouldn't let up.
What did he get mad at?
So EQ called him a power back. Yeah. He took offense to it. He's like, "Well, you are a power back." He's like, "No, I'm a running back." He doesn't like being typecast like that. So I could do.
Hey.
I make some moves. I'm shifty too. I'm not just power back.
I'm with Monty on that one.
And then EQ kept pushing that narrative, which I mean I get where he's coming from in terms of Monty because like he does make a few moves too, but I guess I want to.
I think EQ against the Ravens showed he was more than a power back with the jump cuts and the patience he was showing in those holes. If you didn't, if you were painting him as just a power back, I think he showed you in that game alone that he's more than that. He is criminally underrated as a pass catcher, and I agree
to that too.
I think he shows very good patience in the. I would not say David
He's just
Montgomery's
a football player.
Yeah, he's a running back. I'm with him on that. He's not a
throw the
power
ball
back.
out
He's
there
not
too.
nothing. He was a 3-down back in Chicago. He would be a 3-down back here if we didn't have Jahmyr Gibbs as well. Like he's got the skill set to do it all. He's not a power back. Is Jamal Williams?
Yes.
Jamal Williams is a power. The only thing he can do is short yardage and goal line. David Montgomery can do anything you ask a running back to do.
See, but honestly, even in that, I would still rather have Monty in a power back situation than Jamal Williams.
Yeah, because he's a better player.
He's a better, yeah. He got the truck
But I'm
stick
saying,
around the
when
world.
you call
against
somebody a
the Seattle
power back,
Seahawks on Monday Night Football,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
I was off a reception.
Yeah. The power move. But listen, yeah, I get it. Yeah, he's a running back.
When you
I
say
feel where he's
power
coming from.
back, you mean a goal line guy.
Yeah, I think he's definitely taking offense about that throughout the podcast. And they asked him too, like, what would you compare you as a duo, like Shaq and Kobe? He took offense, like he knows in that situation he's probably Shaq because Ja's like the flashier guy, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
I love Dave Montgomery.
Oh, yeah.
I Ubered here, at 1 a.m. hammered and filmed the video the day they signed David Montgomery and posted
shit was
it.
so funny.
Cleaning lady let me in. I filmed the video. I posted it. It kind of blew up. I was dripping out. You can see I came in for
Shit was so funny.
Lions fans aren't gonna like
No,
this.
dude, your delivery was on.
Yeah?
But I know you, so I could tell you were dripping out.
Yeah,
in
you
the
could
eyes,
s-
whatever.
you
You
could
know
s-
you,
you
so you
could
could
see
tell you
in
were
the
dripping
eyes,
out.
yeah.
But no, I think you delivered that pretty well. You delivered it like a news story almost.
Yeah, Lions fans are not gonna like this.
Yeah.
Also, the thing about David Montgomery, he is playing with a chip on his shoulder. He is the forgotten guy out of all of these players that everybody talks about. I do the same as well. When we were talking about it on Monday Night Football, it's like everyone forgets about Demo and Laporta, Gibbs, J-Mo, St. Brown. It's like all these big, like crazy names that have had all pros and have had Pro Bowls. Like, Dave Montgomery will always be the forgotten man, and he went into the season with a chip on his shoulder. So if he's going at EQ, I mean, I can't wait to see him week 4. You know, he's going to be ready to play. Like, he always has a chip on his shoulder now, and I love it.
Shanghai week 4. It's the only time you'd see EQ across from him. Oh!
Yeah, he dropped that at EQ too. I guess he does it in the locker room. He'll pull out like, I got more money than you. He does it great.
Yeah, he's like Patty King.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love
He
Demo.
pulled on EQ too. He's like, Saint, pay him to sing. He's like, EQ, can you pay me to sing?
Yeah.
We got
Amon-Ra can pay me to sing for sure.
We got also Amon-Ra reacting to Amon-Ra's hot mic as well.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That was the hot mic. That's what he said.
Hot micing it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the hot mic, this is after Amon-Ra St. Brown's touchdown. A
Why
guy
are they
that
dressed like minions?
we know, I don't know, dude. Ryder Cup stuff. They do look like minions. Is that Team Europe? Please don't let that be Team USA. I think that was just guys to watch it. Okay. But yeah, if you don't know, when Amon-Ra St. Brown scored the touchdown, he had one of the greatest hot mics of all time.
He said a whole bunch of white people.
A whole bunch of whats.
Is
Do we have it?
Is the one,
That's the only
I
one
believe
we
it's
have
Saint Selly. But we can just go to break if not. It's all good. We come back and we talk about the
let's
pitch.
just go to break.
I got it. Sorry. I just didn't know.
No, you're good.
Could have sworn.
No, I have it.
I was lit. I was like, let's fucking go.
Now you heard what Saint had said on his celly?
That's crazy or what?
Someone tweeted, someone tweeted, ain't you from Berlin?
They're reading off a couple of them too. There's another one too. Like, aren't you from Anaheim or something like that?
Aren't you from Berlin? That's funny, dude.
They do read Twitter, man. They're obviously on Twitter. They reference it quite often.
We know.
Twitter's funny place sometimes.
Twitter is a great place.
Even sometimes I don't disagree. If you deliver it in a funny ass way, I appreciate a good laugh. That's all the politics stuff. I laugh at both sides. If it's a funny joke, it's a funny joke. But when we come back, we do got an interesting point on the pitch that we were talking about a little bit earlier. Stay tuned for that one.
Real
First,
pitch, bitch.
Tell us about Loom, bitch.
Loom Cannabis. Make sure you go to loom.com to find Loom Cannabis near you. They've got the new buzzing flavor, apple cider, just in time for fall rolling out. It's starting to get a little chilly. It's pretty cold in the morning. Thought about putting on a hoodie today. Didn't. But if you do, if hoodie weather is right around the corner, or if it's already sweater weather for you, you can get apple cider buzzings from Loom Cannabis. Use promo code WSN30 to get 30% off your order. Go to loom.com to find a store near you. It's Loom Cannabis.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Sundays in Detroit just got smoother with Sun Cruiser, Vodka Iced Tea, and Woodward Sports Network. Real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles, just a clean, crisp sip that won't fill you up on game day. Only 100 calories and 4.5% alcohol. Perfect for tailgates, couch gates, wherever you're watching Detroit football. This is the best drink on the market right now. Next time you guys are going to pick up drinks for a weekend of football, make sure you guys pick Sun Cruiser. Let us know how you enjoyed them.
As I look at the YouTube chat thread, there's a growing sentiment for Malik Willis. Have you noticed that, Spencer?
Oh, yeah. People are hyped for it now.
I'm a proud father sitting here where the kids are listening. I don't get that at my own house. So, if I can get that in any shape or form of real life, I'm going to take it. I'm happy, Sam Flannel. I'm happy the people are listening. Now, so you can't save everybody.
No.
I understand that.
Don't save
you don't want to be saved. There's nothing you can do for somebody that doesn't want to be saved. But some people have seen the light.
They have. Yeah. You're bringing us down the gospel told by Malik, the gospel preached by Neil. And I'm here for it. I really am.
Whoa. The gospel preached by who?
Yeah, by Neil.
Oh, God dang. He told me he never said that shit. Motherfucker, I was right here listening. All right, we got some great stuff for you on the offensive side of the ball. I thought it was really brilliant and some stuff that I wanted to wait, what? You got to read it now.
No, that one was crazy.
Can you tell me so I find it at least so I can laugh too?
No, I was laughing at what just happened on the show. I didn't read a comment.
I thought you had a funny-ass comment. All right, here is, back to the show. Here is them talking about the pitch call on 4th and 2 or 4th and 1 on the goal line.
Let's go back to football real quick. Who called that trick play? The OC or Dan Campbell? The one to not the flea flicker, but the one to the little speed off shot.
Fool, I don't get paid enough to answer questions like that.
Right. I don't know either.
Shit,
you guys have a feeling? Do you guys have a feeling like who?
I mean, it was a 4th down. I think Dan has a lot of say.
But we didn't have that play in since Jameer got drafted here.
We've had that playing forever. The craziest part, bro.
It's really weird though, because he pitched it hella early.
Hella early, huh? I blew my load, nigga. I couldn't wait.
You were scared?
I couldn't wait to get it out of my hands.
And look how he flipped that hoe though.
I said, here, take it.
You got rid of that bitch so quick.
Run, nigga, run.
You ran his little ass off, his little quick ass feet. Like
here.
I ain't gonna lie though, bro. We've had that plan since Jameer got drafted, and we're in the team meeting room. They're installing the play again, and the play is up. Jameer looks at me and goes, "Why the hell this play up every week and don't call it?" I said, "Just because you said that, we're calling it." Sure enough, we get out there, we call it, but we killed it on the first one. So killed to.
I seen it.
We killed the sneak. I said, "Whew, okay, we don't have to do it." They came back there. I said, "Oh shit." He said, "We're good." I said, I'm even looking at Roquan Demo, but I'm not trying to look right. I'm trying to see where that nigga's at. I'm like this.
Bro, I'm telling you, he get the rolling.
I don't want to give it away where I'm going. I'm like this.
I'm trying to tell you. You got to put that dot on Roquan, bro. Buddy, so he hard, bro. I played him when I first got to Chicago my rookie year, bro. Like, Buddy was couldn't stand him. I love him to death, but I couldn't stand playing against him, bro. Practicing against him every day, bro, pissing me off.
You play with him, right, Demi?
Yeah, I did. He's good. He's good as fuck.
He a dog, bro. I think he the best in the league, respectively.
Every time we run those shallow routes, he's trying to take my head off. Shit, be hot.
Fool. And he be talking that good boy shit. I'm like, bro, what?
He do.
He yelling in my ear. I'm trying to get back to the huddle. Like, bro, quit all that.
The important piece of that clip that I wanted you guys to take away from.
He blew his load?
He blew his load. No, but seriously, you want to rewind it, you can listen to it back.
Have you ever
when
been
they're talking about that play call, and they're like, whose idea was it? And they can't give that stuff up. I mean, obviously, they could, but maybe they truly don't know. Who knows? But the key parts that I took away was Amon-Ra saying, I think on 4th down, Dan's a big part of that. If you go watch back that Baltimore Ravens game, you see Dan Campbell there at that Denny's menu, and especially when we come around the 4th call plays. And then the other thing they said too was like we've had that play forever since Ja was drafted. Who wasn't here when Ja was drafted? That would be our guy, Johnny Moe.
Yeah.
So the play that Dan Campbell was there for. And the other part, too, was I already said that part where Dan has a lot to say. I think, again, from week 1 to week 2 to week 3, the offense is so much different from what we saw. I think they went back into the bag of like the shit that was working last year, including that play call that they've had for the past 2 years, 3 years, however many years you want to say at this point. I think that's 3. I'm bad at math doing live. But either way, I guess a lot of people want me to apologize for shit, want me to come out and say I'm sorry for stuff because I was a big believer in Ben as like the catalyst of all this stuff like that too. I think I'll call myself out for doubting Dan Campbell's offensive prowess. Just the fact that he had been around Bill Parcells, who was one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. The fact that he had been around Sean Payton, both as a player and coach for 10-plus years. The fact that he played the tight end position, which arguably offensive side of the ball could be the hardest position to play outside of quarterback because you got to know the run game. You got to know the passing game. And then you got to go out and run your own routes too. Like it's just I doubted Dan Campbell in that. And it's just the thing that I've seen these past 2 weeks, and at least my belief is, I think Dan Campbell's had his thumbprint on the game plan and what's going on a little bit more than what we saw in week 1.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was going to say, but I don't think that Dan Campbell called the play. I think Dan Campbell said we're going for it. I think Dan Campbell said we're going to go for it, we're going to do this is what we need to do, and Johnny Morton picked the play out. It was an awesome play call. It was an awesome decision to go for it. Dan Campbell will always be the guy that says, hey, no, we're going for it. Put the offense back out there. No. We're doing this. We're making this happen. But I think he believes in his guys, and he trusts Johnny Morton enough not to take the reins from him in an important situation like that. So I think, yeah, it's a combination of both. And they probably have a specific subsect of that Denny's list that are 4th down plays, or that probably was even in a
and that's what Dan's like, we're doing this.
A 2-point conversion type of play where you just need a couple of yards and you got to make something happen. You know, like your best play to score or something like that is what you want to do on 4th down because you know it's going to work. You know it's going to get you a couple of yards. So I think they have a specific section of plays that they call for those, but I do believe the decision on the play call specifically was still up to Johnny Morton, but Dan Campbell was the one that said, no, we're going for it.
Nah, it's Dan Campbell all day, brother. The 4th down situation, critical moment like that, his ass the one that's on the line at the end of the day more than anybody else. Where you at this one, Jeff?
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely think he kind of gave it away just a little bit. I think when he said that Dan has a little bit of the say so and what we call, especially like on 4th down. I kind of see it this way now as like 4th down is like Dan's baby. He's not giving that up.
No.
He's got to be playing. He's got to be calling something on 4th down. Like that's his baby. He's not giving that up. And I also think we do fall victim to giving the offensive coordinator too much credit and taking credit away from Dan himself. Like he is the head coach. Like he calls the shots. So like you're not like it's not like the offense coordinator just has free reign to just do whatever they want. You know what I mean? So it's like we got to start giving a little bit more credit to Dan Campbell in that aspect that he knows what he's doing too. He's not he's not dumb when he comes to football. He's been around it his whole life. So we got to give him more credit.
Yeah, man, I'm calling myself out too, man. Like I think I fell for a little bit of it. Like he's more of a culture guy than anything else. No, I think he is like generational head football coach, like just all around. When it comes to like just the offensive prowess, just the also the rah-rah culture, stuff like that too. Like we lost 2 guys that became NFL head coaches. I mean, you're talking about billion-dollar organizations that interviewed multiple candidates and picked 2 guys, and your organization is like, okay, we want you to help spearhead this thing and turn shit around.
Yeah. And
the Detroit Lions are looking like the same they did last year, though obviously some of the players too. But the concept in the coaching is Dan Campbell. Mm-hmm. Also the man picking out the guys to carry on the torch at the coaching level at offensive and defensive coordinators.
And it wasn't just Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson that we lost. You also lost Antoine Randall. You also lost Tanner Strand. You also lost pieces on that defensive coaching staff. So it was more than just 2 guys you had to replace. It was, I don't know exactly how many it was, but I'd say it's at least 5 coaches you had to replace.
I think actually literally it was 5.
It was 5, yeah, in that coaching staff. And obviously there still are a lot of pieces that carried over, like Scotty Montgomery and Hank Fraley and different guys like that. But Dan Campbell has the finger on the pulse of his coaching staff, and that is extremely important. He knows, I don't care if you're my best friend, if you're my mentor, if you're a great dude in Anthony Lynn, you're not getting shit done. Pack your bags, get out of town, buddy. I know to promote a guy like Ben Johnson. I know to give a guy like Hank Fraley more more power. I know to bring in guys like John Fox and like Johnny Morton at the beginning of it to oversee and help give insight in different situations. So, yeah, not only is Dan Campbell a great rah-rah guy, he does a great job of managing his coaching staff and putting guys in the best situations for them to have success and for them to spread their knowledge amongst the team. Because like you look at Scotty Montgomery, and he did a great job in his position last year, but Dan Campbell said, no, I know what you really are good at. And he switched up his whole staff, and he put Scotty in a different spot, and it's working out so well.
Yeah, the coaches we lost, if I'm not mistaken, is Ben, AG, Tanner Strand, Antoine Randall, and JT Barrett.
Yeah.
So that's a random. You got out of money, I'm pretty sure. Nick, where you at with that one? Who do you think is? You think Dan's in that kitchen a little bit more than we're led on to believe?
Yeah, I think he is, and a lot of people tend to forget that he came from, the Sean Payton train with the Saints, and I think Sean Payton was known as one of the first great offensive minds on that, in the Saints organization, and he probably learned a lot from him while he was, a coach in those rooms, and I think Dan Campbell, is much as he is known as a rah-rah guy, is also a great football mind at the end of the day. Like, he was in, or he had things to do, or he had, oh my God, he was in these rooms with Ben Johnson and Jared Goff. Like, I don't want to act like he was not there and it was all Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell is a smart offensive mind, and I think when you have the horses that the Detroit Lions do, it wasn't going to look like Green Bay all season. And I know everything starts with the offensive front, but Dan Campbell definitely has things to go with. And on fourth down, Dan was for sure making the call. I don't believe, if Johnny Morton put in a fourth down that Dan Campbell, didn't agree with, Dan's making that change.
Horses don't stop. They keep going.
That's the other thing, too. We got the horses as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the coaches, a lot of the players are there, and they got the mentality. I mean, we draft them with a purpose, right? The guys that fucking care about ball, guys that get easily offended by something like power back could be seen as a compliment because they're so competitive, though. And Dave Montgomery took offense to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just, we draft with that purpose. We sign people with that purpose. I mean, this organizationally, we're just in good hands. Jeff, I know you had something else to say too.
Yeah. So I mean, when you really look at it now in the NFL, look how many teams are going for it on fourth down. Like now, Ben Johnson's starting to go for it on fourth down. He came from Dan Campbell's tree. I mean, obviously we see Aaron Glenn, but I don't know if that we can really count that yet with that Jets team. But you see a lot of teams actually starting to be more aggressive on fourth down, trying to keep their their offense on the field rather than just punting. So I mean, he has like a lot of influence on the NFL's head coaching culture on what these NFL head coaches are now trying to do, keep their offense on the field.
And real quick too, just fans says DC likes to defer credit. That's why fans get fooled that BJ was smarter than DC. I think just from conversations I've had with players on the team that played on the offensive side of the ball, Ben was he drew the plays up. And then Dan would give him like the principle of that week, like, hey, this is how I want to attack him. I need to draw the game plan up around this.
Mm-hmm.
Even in 22, when Dan took over for the play calling for Anthony Lynn, I got it right that time.
Nice. First time you said it in a while.
Yeah, it is. I'm surprised. It was still Ben behind the scenes, like drawing it up, but still, you still have to have that feel for the play call of like when the right moment to call certain plays. You know what I'm saying? Even like
gotta have the feel.
Yeah, we saw in the game against the Ravens, like they constantly kept setting shit up. I don't know who broke this one down. I think it was I don't remember. I apologize not to give credit to it, but if you kept noticing, they had the I formation, or when they draw like run plays, it was like a short motion for Amon-Ra St. Brown, then run, setting it up. So you've seen that play over and over and over again, and then that 4th and 2, you see Amon-Ra short motion. You think it's a run play, boom, he bursts out for that pass. He's not wide open, but great catch. And great throw.
I mean, he fooled Marlon Humphrey, had to hold him.
Yeah,
and they still got the play off, and still got the pass off, and still completed it. Let's go to break real quick. We'll come back. We'll do mailbag. But first, Freight Train Jay with a Woodward Sports Super Chat. He said, this is the best coaching room. Dan, the dip-spitting cowboy, Henny Mo, the old drunk, and Shep the rapper. I love our squad. We need that trophy. It's got to be racist. But, yeah, shout out to those guys, man. They seem like they're gelling well. It seems like they haven't missed a beat. But tell us about Caesars.
Caesars Sportsbook, ladies and gentlemen, would you like to make a bet on the Detroit Lions beating the Browns by 20+ like Nick? Head over to Caesars Sportsbook, because when it doesn't happen, you get your money back. As Woodward promo code Woodward1000. Make sure you check it out on SiriusSportsbook.com.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
It's electric.
It's the Great American EV Sale at Feldman Chevrolet. With over 800 EVs on the ground, it's the largest selection in the state. Drive home a 2025 Equinox EVLT for just $159 a month, or a 2025 Blazer EVLT for only $179 a month. But hurry, the $7,500 federal tax credit disappears September 30th. The countdown is on. The Great American EV Sale is here, only at Feldman Chevrolet.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Highland, New Hudson, Novi, Livonia, and Lansing. This month's specials include a 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew lease for $189 a month, and you can also get a 2026 Equinox LT lease for $219 a month. This offer ends soon, so get there quick.
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live, WoodSports.com. Eazy, my spin reaction. Chris, Nicholas Koloff. Smash the like button. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. It is time for the mailbag segment. The Ronin 99 mailbag. How does the NFL respond to the Lions' protests? What's he talking about?
No idea.
Are people protesting the Lions? Because I can tell you something. I can tell you they're not protesting Detroit Lions. You want to know why? The Detroit Lions Monday Night Football game against the Baltimore Ravens had 22.8 million viewers, making it one of the 4 most watched Monday Night Football games ever, and ESPN's most watched Monday Night Football Week 3 game ever. I don't know if people boycotting the Lions, to be honest with you.
I don't know that one either.
Lions are one of the most electric team in football to watch.
Yeah.
And we are lucky enough to watch them every single week.
Superstar.
All right, calm down, Scott Harris. Danny G in the Woodward Sports mailbag. Team Mudnuts or Team Poopy Bags?
I saw that in the chat. That was insane.
I have no clue what they're talking about with that.
It's do you
wiping
wipe
back to
down
front,
or do you wipe? Yeah, do you wipe front to back or back to front?
I reach around.
Yeah, I reach around and go back to front, or front to back. Reach around and go.
Yeah.
Balls to back.
balls to back,
Balls to back.
balls to back.
The people don't.
Some guy is allegedly saying he goes back to balls.
You're not. No.
I don't think there's any way he does it. Actually,
But you got to stink. You probably smell weird.
Yeah, I mean your balls
doing
probably
some shit like that.
smell shit.
I don't do that.
It didn't make sense just piling it up.
I don't
All right,
stink.
we're
here.
leaving. That's gross. I don't want to talk about That's good. That's
That's
disgusting.
just leave it.
You swipe up. You swipe up. All right.
Swipe up.
Mailbag from KJ. When will we get the face-to-face debate between Eazy and Stick about golf? Tension has been building in the live comments. I would never, unless just happen to be here. The amount of delusion. Do you think that's not going to be debate? And there was no convincing someone who was completely delusional about that situation. There's no convincing.
All Stick does is rage bait and rile up Cousins. That's literally it.
He lies.
He doesn't provide.
I love him. He straight up lies. He called lying last week.
Yeah, he doesn't provide any evidence or nuance to any of his arguments. He just rage baits and riles up Cousins.
Yeah, not a thing. John F. and Lord mailbag. Team Mud Nuts. Team Poopy Backs.
Poopy Back.
Poopy Backs for life.
Poopy Back for life.
Mailbag. When is the next subathon? When we get 100% of that money.
Yeah.
That's the next subathon.
Not unless we're getting paid.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for us today.
There's 2 more minutes.
Make sure you guys tap in to Fantasy Jerks coming up next. 7:30. They're jerking it with fantasy.
Jack's got your back. 7:15. Jack, World Series champion.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
So
Come on.
I was very confused. Tigers' dreams die tonight. Fantasy Jerks, you can watch that instead of the Tigers getting filleted alive by the Cleveland Guardians. For Eazy, for Nick, for Jeff, for Chris, I'm Spencer. Fantasy Jerks at 7:30. We'll see you guys later. Peace.